So it's that time again when we meet for not going back. And I'm really excited about this podcast because God has really been helping me as a person to understand what it means that we will not go back. So my text is taken from Exodus, that book of Exodus, where the children of Israel were in Egypt for a time. We know over 400 years, where the Egyptians, with Pharaoh as the head, had them bound, had them in slavery, doing things that were not of God. So they were just there in bondage. And we know about God sending a deliverer in the form of Moses to rescue them. But that's not just it for us on this listening platform. It is for us to understand that whenever God has taken us from somewhere, the enemy of our soul, the enemy that had us bound, will come for us. And this is the part that I want you to get, because it is fine to walk away from a situation. It is many times easy to walk away from a situation that had you bound. But what do you do when the same situation that had you bound before came looking for you or came seeking for you? What do you do when the friends that you left behind come after you? What do you do? So I'm saying to somebody today, it is important that you maintain what God told you to do. So let us look. It is Black History Month, and let us look at this lady, Harriet Tubman. I make reference to Harriet Tubman because I really think that she is an exemplary person for us to look upon. We can emulate her. Harriet Tubman made this declaration after rescuing so many slaves. She said, "The reason many slaves were not freed is because they did not know that they were slaves." But she also said something that resounds in me, and she said, "If the dogs are barking, do not look back. If you hear the horses coming, do not look back. Whatever it is that is coming after you, make sure that you do not look back. Because if you look back, you are never going to be free." And so I want to say to somebody, when the enemy of your soul comes after you, do not look back. Looking back will take you very much further than where you are right now. If you take steps in going back, many times it takes you more steps to go forward. So I always say to people, the path forward may not be easy. The path forward may be a lonely path, because really and truly you're going to miss the cucumbers and the lettuce and the onions that the children of Israel started to lament on in Egypt. They did not remember that they were in slavery. So when the Egyptians started coming after them close to where they were at the Red Sea, they started to complain to Moses and said, "Moses, we were better off in Egypt." So there are times in our lives when we think that we are better off where we were, because where we are going becomes difficult. The path becomes treacherous. It becomes lonely, as I said earlier. You cannot find any friend. Because anytime you are aiming higher or anytime you're about to rise, the path becomes lonely. Because be reminded that an eager mindset means that you cannot stay on the ground. So those animals or those birds that are made for the ground cannot fly with you. So you are going to be lonely. So you have to embrace the loneliness and know that friends are going to come along, but the right people are going to meet you where you are going. And where you're going is the promised land. Where you're going is the place that you have headed out. You have started that journey to be. So looking back is going to be a contrast to everything. Looking back can cost you. You can lose it all, like Lot's wife. She looked back on the things that she had, maybe all her luxuries, the vanity, the riches of Sodom, and she looked back and it cost her her life. She became a pillar of salt, as you all know the story. So I'm encouraging somebody today, do not look back. Maybe it will take resilience from you. It will take tenacity. It will take something you have never done before. Maybe you are going to have to press harder than you have ever pressed before. But whatever it takes, do not look back. Thank you for joining me today. I promise you on the next episode, we are going to be looking at what are the things that can cause you to look back. God bless you.